Hello Leo, my name is Lynn Walden. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be using my Intuitive Insight Oracle cards and I'm going to be doing a reading for you for the week of December 2nd. Sorry for the delay. There was a flood that needed to be dealt with. It's all good right now. All good. All right. My Leos. It seems to be something with the fire signs. I've noticed it. You're the third fire sign I'm doing. There seems to be some kind of situation for a part of the Leo collective that has brought up some fear. Fear around choices that you might need to be making. Possible guilt around needing to make some of these decisions. And real concern about the choices that you might need to be making. That could be changing a lot of the patterns that you're constantly or that you're currently facing. Patterns that may have worked but may no longer be working. And what you're really being asked to do is to look at the things that are being a weight on you, that are creating stress, that are just bearing more of a burden. And so they might be things that are light, that are small, that you can knock off the list, that are going to give you some sense of comfort. They might be big, but to check in and to see what is it that you're carrying emotionally or functionally in terms of what you're doing in life that you can actually drop. And it might mean just ceasing altogether. It might mean taking care of a task. It might mean getting assistance. But look where you are being burdened, where you don't potentially have to be burdened, okay? It's really important, and I feel like that is part of the pattern because we know Leos, very, very competent people, generally able to do a lot and keep a lot of balls in the air. But one of their patterns sometimes is that they don't reach out for help. They don't, they like to stay in control of the situation in a way. And sometimes that's just because they think they'll do it better, and sometimes they absolutely will. But it doesn't matter really if it's a burden. Sometimes it's better to have somebody else step in and help you, just to take the weight off you. And then you get to kind of look at what that pattern is too that prevents you from being able to let that happen. I know some Leos will absolutely go, I wouldn't make the rude gesture, they might, but they won't go for this. However, if what you're experiencing is fear around choices that you have to make, and you're experiencing potential guilt around it, and you're feeling burdened by a situation, then I would say, please look at where you can drop the weight. Look at where you have a pattern of not dropping the weight, or look at what patterns you can drop. That is another one that you can do. And you're being asked very much to experiment with it, take chances on it, and really, really, again, what can you let go of? Do as much as you can in that regard. And you can experiment with doing things differently for yourself in this regard, right? If you always do things this way, maybe you can do them that way. If you have always taken care of this particular task, maybe you can experiment and try doing something else, okay? It's be non-judgmental as much as you possibly can. Just take chances on doing things differently and look at what happens. Notice it, experiment with it, okay? You are also being asked, you've got prayerfully and you've got if God were head over heels in love with you. So prayerfully doesn't have to be beseeching. It doesn't have to be invoking God. It can mean actively praying or invoking the support of a divine presence. Alternatively, it can mean letting your mind and actions reflect an attitude of acceptance of, or at least the possibility of, a higher power which is there to guide you. It could be maintaining an awareness of something sacred or mystical and acting with the acceptance that it is present even in the most seemingly mundane activities. It might be all of them or any of that. And also, can you embrace the possibility over this next little while you are trying to deal with the fear around choices, and when you're trying to shift patterns and experiment with doing things differently, can you just say, you know what? Whatever I do is going to be fine because God is head over heels in love with me no matter what I do, no matter what happens. How would I feel? And for those of you who don't really believe in that, although if you're listening to this, you probably do to some degree, but can you imagine if you really, really felt like there was a divine being who was looking down on you going, yeah, you had a little bit too many of those eggnogs last night, but I love you anyway. Okay? Try that out. See if that's going to help you this week. I do understand that there is a lot of heavy energy around you, and that is actually something I've seen in every single fire sign. So, do it big. Do it prayerfully. Remember God's head over heels in love. Drop whatever issues, functions, attitudes that you can. Drop whatever patterns are not working for you too. Okay? That's it for now. If you do find this helpful, it would be great if you would consider liking and subscribing. Just click the icons down below. If you feel inclined, it would be very nice because it also helps other people find the information. So that's it for now, and I will be back. Take care of yourselves.